What's up guys, and welcome to FPL Today. I'm your host JNO, welcome to the channel and welcome to the talking points from Game Week 3 of the Fantasy Premier League. In this series we talk about what's just happened over Game Week 3 and try and use that to help us in Game Week 4 and onwards in the Fantasy Premier League game. So if FPL is something you want in your subscription box, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification bell so that you're told when I'm live and when my videos go up on YouTube. And let's get on with this episode. So we're starting off with the Aubameyang and Richarlison nightmare. Aubameyang and Richarlison, two players everyone was looking at for Game Week 3, expecting points from Richarlison, of course, being in form at the moment. 2 game weeks in, he'd scored 3 goals, and Aubameyang looking very good at the tail end of last season, now having some good fixtures to hopefully continue his goal scoring from last season. However, both failed to impress over the weekend, in fact some even causing us points in the Fantasy Premier League game. Starting off with Aubameyang, he disappointed in a game against the West Ham side whose defence looks very weak at the beginning of this season. Aubameyang not being involved in any of the 3 goals that Arsenal scored. And another issue is his underlying stats weren't that great either. Penalty area touches, he only had 2. Attempts, he had 3. Only 1 from inside the box with only 1 shot on target. However, he did create chances for his teammates, but was not involved in the FPL points. And as for Richarlison, he managed to get himself sent off after 41 minutes by a stupid rush of blood decision to try and headbutt Adam Smith, which of course got him sent off for violent conduct, which means he misses 2 Premier League games, 3 games in total, one of them being the Carabao Cup. And this after Richarlison was one of the most transferred in players for this game week, with him having started so well. However, in the 41 minutes, Richarlison had 2 penalty area touches, the same as Aubameyang in 75, with 1 attempt on goal, which of course gave him a minute per chance of 41 minutes because he was only on the pitch for 41 minutes. But this has really put a spanner in the works of a lot of people. A lot of people saved 2 transfers or used a wild card and bought in Richarlison, and immediately he costs -2 points to your side, and you have to look to transfer him out if you don't have a strong enough team to cover his absence. And also it's likely that he's going to go down in price by at least 0.2 million with the amount of time he is out. But if you're new to FPL, this shouldn't be a surprise to you. Game weeks like this do happen, which throw a real spanner in the works, and it's how you respond to these game weeks that can really shape your whole season. Speaking of a game week that trolled a lot of people, Joshua King was someone that came into the season with decent pre-season form, and everyone was hoping he'd return to the form that saw him about a year and a half ago to 2 years ago perform incredibly well at the tail end of a Premier League season. So far he'd been disappointing in the first 2 game weeks with underlying stats which really suggested that he was inferior to his strike partner Callum Wilson, but this game week he turned up with 9 points in a game week where those 9 points could have been seriously important to any FPL player in what is right now a considerably low scoring game week compared to the last 2. King now back on penalties, putting away the penalty that Callum Wilson won. He does, however, seem to be a bit more in a supporting role to Callum Wilson, because if we actually have a look at his stats, Callum Wilson still looks like the better option despite being cheaper. Wilson still got 2 assists in this game, so don't worry, he returned decent points. If you did make the move from King to Wilson, you didn't lose out too much. However, there were other options people looked at, players like Ings, that didn't perform, so King would have been one that you could have kept in your side for a couple more game weeks before you transferred out and would have got you these 9 points. He had 6 penalty area touches, 4 attempts on goal, 3 from inside the box with 1 shot on target, minutes per chance at 22.3 and 1 chance created, which is much better than his previous performances. However, Callum Wilson at 6.1 million, £0.3 million cheaper in game week 3 managed to get 9 penalty area touches, 5 attempts on goal, all of them inside the box. Again, only 1 shot on target. However, he's getting more chances on goal, minutes per chance at 18 minutes, and he also created 1 chance. So Callum Wilson still looks like the better option, but Joshua King turned up in game week 3 to the disappointment of managers that transferred him out. We then move on to City and Liverpool, who unfortunately didn't win games as big as they have done recently. A lot of managers have got used to the points from their Man City and Liverpool options. However, there were still points to be had, and both sides still looked very promising, being very high in the underlying stats for attacking threat out of all the teams that played on Saturday. Apart from Bournemouth and Arsenal, Man City and Liverpool were the best attacking sides on Saturday, and if you had any Liverpool defenders, you did get the clean sheet. And Mohamed Salah, the player that some people have said is out of form and hasn't looked as sharp, did score a very, very good goal with his left foot into the far corner to reward those that captained him over Sergio Aguero. However, Man City did have a tougher time of it against Wolves. Wolves giving them a real challenge. Yes, the goal was handball that Wolves scored. I don't think it was quite hand of God like some people are saying on Twitter, but it was still a handball. However, a goal did come for Man City from Gundogan assisting with a set piece that Laporte managed to score with his head to tie the game at 1-1. However, Sergio Aguero still looked like a threat. He hit the post and the crossbar, so I'm not too worried about Man City, although the rotation issue is of course still there with any of their midfielders. However, David Silva and Bernardo Silva both played again in this game. Man City, with the one goal they got, they actually had 18 attempts on goal, 9 from inside the box, 2 big chances with 6 shots on target. And Liverpool, again scoring 1, they had 22 attempts on goal, 16 from inside the box, 1 big chance and had 7 shots on target. So it's unlikely that they're going to score this low in many games this season. We then move on to Alonso, the player that if you've owned since the beginning of the season, you're pretty happy with yourself, whereas a lot of people worried about Marcos Alonso not being as attacking because of the change in management and the change in style, going to 4 at the back instead of 5 at the back or 3 at the back. Then we move on to Alonso, who returned points again. Now, a lot of people were worried that he may not be as attacking under Sarri as he was under Conte because of the change to 4 at the back instead of 3 at the back. However, Alonso just seems to be the type of player that likes to get forward. You can't completely stop him getting forward, and he's returned in 3 game weeks in a row, getting 2 assists in this game by winning a penalty that Eden Hazard scored, confirming that he is the penalty taker when he is on the pitch. And then also having a shot/cross, which was turned into the net by DeAndre Yedlin, unfortunately for an own goal. But Alonso being the person that got involved in both goals, having 100% goal involvement. Alonso, along with Robertson and Mendy, look like the defenders to own this season. At 6.6 million currently, so he is a bit expensive compared to Mendy and Robertson. In Game Week 3, with the 2 assists, he had 5 penalty area touches, which is as much as the likes of King and Wilson. And he had 1 attempt, 1 from inside the box. However, he didn't score that one. But imagine if he had, and imagine Chelsea kept the clean sheets, the points could have been huge this game week for Alonso. And then the final point before we get on to ones to watch is Fulham supply FPL points. Not sure how many saw this coming, but Mitrovic has, of course, promised big return with his underlying stats, which I have mentioned on this channel before. And in this game against Burnley, Fulham turned up. Maybe Burnley a bit tired after their exertions in the Europa League. But it wasn't just Mitrovic that turned up. Seri also scoring some decent points, but the players I want to look at from this game, other than Mitrovic, are Vieto and Schürrle. They look like they could have, if this continues, it's only 1 game week, a very good attacking 3 that could return FPL points and could be very interesting for some budget options. If this is the type of performance they can do against mid-table or battling against relegation sides, then there could be some really tasty options from this Fulham side. Mitrovic, of course, is someone we were all looking at. 6.5 million in Game Week 3. He got 2 goals and 1 assist, 10 touches in the box, 4 attempts on goal, 3 from inside the box with 3 on target. 2 of those chances were big chances and he had a chance every 22.5 minutes. But Vieto also offering value for money, 5.5 million, $1 million cheaper. No goals, but he got 2 assists. Penalty area touches, only the 3, and only 3 attempts on goal, 1 which came inside the box. No shots on target, but a minute per chance at every 30 minutes. Chances created, he created 5 chances with 1 of them a big chance, which gives him a minute per chance creation of 18 minutes. And then Schürrle getting the 1 goal in this game, but no assists. Had 7 touches in the penalty area with 11 attempts on goal, 4 of which came from inside the box with 5 shots on target in total, and a minutes per attempt at 8.1 minutes, which is an incredible minutes per attempt ratio. And he also created 3 chances. So all 3 of these players have looked very, very good in this game and could be very promising for us looking forward. And then finally, we get to the ones to watch, players that I haven't necessarily looked into in that much detail. And the 2 I'm looking at, one does have tough fixtures, and it's Roberto from Watford. I cannot say the surname. I've literally just attempted to say the surname about 10 times and failed every single time when I try and say it in a sentence. So Roberto. I'm going to call him Roberto. At 6.1 million, he returned again for Watford against Crystal Palace, getting 8 points from 1 goal, 4 attempts, all from inside the box, 2 on target, and a minute per chance at 22.5 minutes. He has looked good in 2 game weeks, returning points. However, very tough fixtures coming up with Man United and Tottenham coming up. So maybe not someone to bring in right now, but definitely to still watch. And then we also have Eden Hazard at 10.5 million. He played 90 minutes, which is important. Now it looks like he's back in the side, so definitely could be an FPL option. If you've still got players like Sanchez's price or Sterling, maybe Hazard is someone you want to look at. He managed to get 8 points from 1 goal, 5 attempts, 2 from inside the box, 1 shot on target, 1 big chance, and minute per chance at 18 minutes per chance. So Hazard looked good and lively in this game, and has looked good in Game Week 1 and 2 from his substitute appearances. Anyway guys, that is it for this episode. So if you have enjoyed the episode, please consider hitting that like button. It helps out the channel a lot. Hopefully your game week has been a good one. My game week depends on how Tottenham Man United goes, but it's not been awful at all. There will be, of course, the video coming up of my team, how I've done and what I'm planning to do moving forward. So look out for that. Also, we will stream, I'm not sure when yet, but I'm streaming with the Wildcats Monday around 3 to 4 o'clock. So make sure to join in with that. And if you want to support the channel in any way, various links in the description down below in ways you can do so. I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.